everyone, my name is Flora, aka Flo, hashtag go with the flow, and I've got like a really special guest today. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hey guys! I'm so honoured to be on this podcast today, to be the beginning of this beautiful journey, and I'm so blessed that Flora's allowed me to showcase my journey as well on this beautiful podcast, FloSpot.
What's your name?
I'm Wendy and I am the owner of the brand sheflippedit, and my brand is going to be more than a brand. It's going to be a platform for people to learn, people to create, people to express their means in a fashion way. Sustainable fashion is the key and main goal of this whole brand. So I'm excited.
Wow, that is a lot there.
I know.
So where did the name come from, sheflippedit?
The name, goodness, there was like so many ideas on my notes page, just running through, and I wanted something like quite controversial, so I like the term flipped, so I was running with flipped a lot because that's obviously flipped, swearing, and then you have flipped as in changing something to something else. So I thought, you know what, let's bring these together and see what I can do with it. And I was thinking she it's quite an open term, I feel. It's not like secluded to just this one thing, so I feel she's just
pronouns have changed, people, it includes so much.
A lot, exactly, and she could be nature. Well, if we stretch it further, nature, the beginning of earth, Mother nature, exactly. So she's just so big, and it brings it all back to sustainability, which is helping the environment, isn't it?
And like,
so there's a lot you can take from it.
When did you start like to discover that you were really crafty, or were you not always crafty?
I think I've always been a crafty person from young. Because me, like I was that kid that always loved being outside, playing outside, and then there's days you just can't play outside. So all that energy needs to go into something. So when I was younger, I used to love just cardboard. Mum was back cardboard from work. I would chop it up, cut it up. The kitchen space was my space. So I had this project I was doing for so many years. I wanted to make a pair of shoes.
Wow.
So out of like cereal boxes, I'll be there lining up my shoes, my foot on the box.
How old were you?
It was primary school days. I was trying, and then I managed to make the brim, but I never fully made a whole shoe. I created like a sole of a shoe from these cardboard boxes.
Wow.
I was sit there for hours just creating. And as I got a bit older, my mum like trusted me with the whole like sewing kit, like tin of biscuits, like that came in hand. Started sewing stuff with my little Barbies, my teddy bears. So I've always been like a creative person, 100%.
Very creative
from young,
What ways do you incorporate sustainable ways of living in your day to day? Because I feel go on.
I feel like I'm such a frugal person, so if it means saving the queen, I will do it. And then through that, I've just become more sustainable. So hot water bottle, as you know, I'd use a hot water bottle in one hot water in one bottle, just put it back in the kettle, take it out again, put it back in the kettle. That means I'm saving money, saving water.
Literally,
it's great.
Because when I saw her do this, I was like,
why not?
Why have I never done this?
And it's the exact amount that you want every single time.
Like, just pop it back in the kettle, then back into the
bottle.
Exactly. And that's sustainable. Like, these are the little things that people can do to live more sustainably.
100%.
And I sometimes fall into really not living sustainably. So, like, that inspires me to, like, just... It's little things.
Little things. And it's so easy to be sustainable as well. How else would I be sustainable? I'd say, obviously, through clothing. I barely buy from like online brands. I'm barely shopping like that, so if I am, it's like only small things. So I guess that's a sustainable way of living as well.
But I know you do, because like I said, we literally live together now, so like I see how you go about things more like sustainably. How important is sustainable fashion right now, would you say? Because like a lot of our favorite companies, what we know is they are not doing the right things.
They try to label this new thing sustainable, but it's again not really the push that we need. Like, sustainability is further than what these companies are doing. Cool, you can have your organic products, you can have your recycled products, but they have the money to do a lot more. So like what a small brand like me is doing, these brands have the money to do that, but they're not. They just want cheaper ways, more profitable ways. It's just, it's a money game for them.
And
it's a money game.
It all feeds into capitalism, just 100%. Trying to work the people who are at the bottom, like making these clothes, and then just mass production. Maybe the whole idea of fashion needs to just change in general, because
100%.
fast fashion is not going to be sustainable
at all, and I don't know when it will end, because we as consumers have consumed so much of it that if it was taken away, there won't be a way of people to continue.
Exactly.
So it's so ingrained into the way of living,
society and
it can't step out. Like,
that's not you're literally gonna be a part of you're a part of the future because this like society that we've created to be in, like it's not gonna work in longevity. Like it's too much of rich getting richer, poor getting poorer. So it's like if there's no middle, then there's like almost like an end date.
100%, yeah.
So you're literally gonna be a part of whatever's new that's gonna turn this into something else.
100%. And there are sustainable brands. There's a brand called Frankie Collective.
Yeah.
One that I've very really been watching for a while now, and they do what I want to get into and what I want to do.
Yeah.
And they transform. They just get loads of wholesale vintage clothing, and they make it into new like sportswear brands and the sportswear garments and stuff. And it's looking really good. But what I want to push with my brand, which is different, is the educational side. And as you're saying about in society, we have there's no middle ground yet, and I feel like as consumers we're consuming so much, we as individuals need to reduce our consumption, but people don't know about what they can do, what they should be doing. So I want my brand to push education as another side to it, as opposed to just offering a product and not understanding where it's come from and
excited.
What you can do. So it's more than just a brand, it's a movement, and that's how we're taking it now. It's a movement to sustainability. And
I think like I've been seeing things on like sustainability recently, like Amazon had like some advert, something to do with it, so you're in right now and it just needs to be there, like but I think now with this whole new wave of Y2K fashion and stuff like that, there is like a demographic of people that are sort of making sustainable fashion cool, because I feel like there would have been a time where going to a charity shop to get clothes would have been like frowned upon, or like why are you doing that? Now it's like, first of all, they're adding the prices to them. And now it's like that's where
there's another issue in that. And that's another problem with the sustainability side. People aren't educated.
Right.
So it's like people who go to charity shops, maybe they're short of money. That's all they can afford. They can't afford these other big brands. So they're going to charity shops and getting these clothes. But now when you're having some charity shops that have recognised they've got a different demographic, a different market group coming, they're raising their prices, and then now the poorer people are not able to.
It's like counterproductive.
It is very counterproductive, and you're thinking, if it's for charity, it's for a good cause. So where does the goodness really come in? Like, what's your real?
We need more real people 100%. And real causes.
Causes. We do need real causes.
And you're a part of this,
100%.
and I'm happy to see how it's gonna grow. What is it that you enjoy about like sewing and making outfits?
I think just the end product.
Okay.
Seeing how something just so basic and turn like into transform.
We're gonna stick in here like what you flipped.
Like there's so much. Like it's a magical piece, I think.
It is.
And it can be so stressful to the point, but then when the customer comes back to me and it's like, you did your thing, I'm thinking, whoa.
You feel like, wow.
That. It's rewarding. And that's what I want as well. Like, I see it less as a money thing, but it's more as like a rewarding thing, I think.
No, there's one I've got in my head right now that Wendy did, and I loved it.
I loved it.
Yeah. All of them, obviously, but I think there was one that you made more recently of your own outfit, and I was like, how did she do that? But she did.
She flipped it.
That's why it makes sense.
She did.
Okay, cool. I have noticed there's also, like online thrifting platforms as well, like Vinted. Or is it Vinted?
Yeah.
And Depop, obviously.
Yeah.
I think that's good as well, 100%, because it's like it's now moving online. Like obviously everything's online.
Online, 100%. So
I'm happy to see these kinds of steps towards, for sure. Yeah. Where would you see your brand in like a couple of years?
Oh, let's say 5 years.
Yeah.
We would have an established page.
Yeah.
We would be on multiple platforms. So, because I feel like with Depop, it's a hit or miss thing. The best way to make it on Depop is you already have your platform, you have your followers, because there are the fees and whatnot. But there's other sites like Habitat, which is another well, it's just a quiet one, but they really do help push little brands and give them a platform to sell their items. And as well, it's a sustainable brand too, as they use the fees to donate into sustainability and sustainable moves. So it's they're really reusing it nicely, and it's making a lot of sense.
Wow.
So I want to push my brand more on platforms that actually are for a good cause, as opposed to just getting a space to sell my stuff. So,
and educating people, like I said.
Wow. TikTok.
That's amazing.
Instagram, all of that.
Rihanna and A$AP Rocky. let's take it there real quick.
A lot of people were so boo A$AP. I was always like, you know, these guys are cute.
No, because A$AP don't like us.
Can we forget that?
The thing is with A$AP Rocky, forget his like annoying sides, but I think they match because they're both like really individuals. Like they're really individualistic. Like you only hear like only Rihanna could wear that. Only A$AP.
100%.
Wearing pink. Like boys were really shy to sort of experiment with, you know, new fashion or just what's feminine. Like he was like a guy who's taking care of himself, not necessarily a gangster. So I think she probably just rated the fact that he was his own person. That's what I look for.
Yeah. And they came together and they're cute.
They're cute, and that baby is gonna look good.
I'm scared. That baby. No.
Yeah.
There's not gonna be
all the celebrities should be scared. Do you think girls are a lot more guarded right now? In general, because I feel like we've sort of developed this whole like men are trash slogan has been going on for a minute.
You know what
and we've really caught onto it, but I'm not on it.
I think we've really pushed the city girls mentality to a different level. To the point where we hate men.
Yeah, literally.
We literally hate men.
And it's like, I feel like the boys uni boys, they've sort of taken that and now they sort of act a specific way, even before, like there's always like a mind game going on.
100%.
Why can't you just like catch a vibe and like actually have your own thoughts on things? Like I know boys like to say girls listen to their girls a lot and stuff like that, which maybe we do. But boys is
always a lot, validation, we seek as humans a lot of validation, and we need to stop that.
But I also feel like boys are like less romantic these days. So there's no even incentive to be like
what the problem
open.
is though, let's say at this, let's take about 10 years from, so people our age 10 years ago, a romantic date could be like, let's go catch a meal in a cheap place, in like, I don't know, a cafe or something, like I don't know, McDonald's probably was a date spot, even Nando's. But to do that at our age now, it's like, what, like, get your bag up. But we're forgetting, we're all in the same boat. Not everyone's working, we're all studying.
Like, I feel like boys think girls have the expectation, but not every single girl's like that.
100%.
Honestly, like, if you're literally, okay, cool if you're broker than me, but if you're on the same level as me, I really cannot judge if we're the same age. Like,
100%.
But I just feel like boys these days have lost the romance. Like it's just sort of like let's link up or this, that. But and I feel like maybe when boys start being a little bit more like emotional and romantic again, maybe that will inspire the girls to be a little bit more
push for it again,
open, like less men are trash, you know, and more like love a girl.
And it comes from the music, because if we've had this conversation before. The music from back then, we'd be pouring our hearts out to guys. They'd be pouring their hearts.
The girlies were pouring their whole entire hearts into
Crystal's break dancing to his girl, like, bring it back, okay? Bring it back.
Like the R&B boys, they were still trash, but at least they were singing it. You know, they meant it.
There was still that element of romance there.
There was, and I feel like we have lost a little bit of the romance.
Need it back.
And it's not like you said, it doesn't have to be like we're going to
extravagant.
It's just little things. It's the consideration. Thank you so much for joining this podcast.
No, thank you for having she on.
Hashtag go with the flow.
Yes, sir.
Go with, you know, she. She's a legend in the making right now, and you guys are gonna see some amazing things from our good sis. And thank you for being here.
No, thank you for having me.
Yeah.
We're all gonna blow, all of us.
Yes.
Go on blow.
We're gonna play. Honestly, I don't know how to actually, but okay. Thank you for being on the show.
I've asked about you and they told me things, but my mind